In this clip, I teach Logan, a professional soccer player, a scientifically grounded approach to building a powerful, performance driven mindset. No matter the situation, we break down how to interrupt negative thought patterns, cycle them into more empowering ones, and ultimately elevate both his performance and overall experience. Let's take a look. This is really powerful. There was a study done with the top 25 tennis players. We may have discussed this, but it's really powerful for what you're doing, because I guarantee you beat yourself up when you kind of don't get a play exactly right, or your
Absolutely.
pass is off 4 degrees, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to take a deep breath and take this in right now, because this is going to transform your entire fucking profession. All right? If you can do this, and it will take a little time, you will probably become a much better person and athlete and performer. Okay? Are you with me?
I'm with you.
So they did a study with the top 25 tennis players of the world, and 5 of them had something the other 20 did not, that separated them from 6 to 25. So the top 5 had this one thing, and it wasn't training, it wasn't conditioning, it wasn't coaching, it wasn't sponsorships, it wasn't gear, it wasn't athleticism, it was mindset. What they did when they scored a point or did something well, they encouraged themselves through reward. They said, "Good job, awesome play, good point." So they took what was positive and commended themselves for being positive, with positivity and optimism. You got that first part?
Repeat the very last sentence you just said.
Yeah. So when they did something positive in
Yep.
their sport, they commended themselves, they rewarded themselves with a positive, empowering inner monologue, narrative, kind of
Love
little
it.
mantra. They said,
Yeah.
"Good job, good point, awesome, you got it, that was great, good, good speed there, good quickness, good strike." Whatever it was, they rewarded themselves and encouraged themselves after they performed well. This is very common for athletes to do. Here's what separated those 5 from the rest of the 20 in the top tier of tennis in the entire world. When the other 20 would have something done against them where they would mess up, or a point was scored against them, they would discourage themselves. They'd say, what the fuck? Where were you on that? Shit, what the hell? Why did you do that? Man, you lost it on that. Get your shit together. They would basically punish themselves, discourage themselves mentally. The top 5 tennis players would empower themselves positively when they screwed up. So if they screwed up, they said, "Don't worry, you got the next one. You're awesome. You got this." They didn't get that point. They're off a little bit, 4 degrees with the pass, whatever it was. They said, "It's okay, man. You got this. You're amazing. You're the best. You're the best soccer player. You got this. You're going to get better on the next one. You've got this. I'm proud of you." Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
So there's 2 reasons this works. There's many reasons, but they believe in the study that the people who were discouraging themselves and punishing themselves, they were more stressed out during the 2 hours of tennis play, leading to more exhaustion over that time period, because their heart rate was higher and they were burning more energy, and therefore getting kind of deteriorating physically quicker than the people who were not. The people who were positive, the top 5, their heart rates were lower. They were more at peace. They were more calm. So it does that with our entire system. But on the mindset spiritual spectrum, we are transmitting a frequency of gratitude, positivity, success, encouragement, empowerment, instead of fear, punishment, discouragement. And what that does is that beacon that ripples out into the ether, and it affects that external circumstance. So they are literally influencing the game in a positive measure, even though they mess up all of the time. It doesn't matter. It's about staying consistent in that space of resilience. So if you can couple those 2 things together when you're playing, I want you to be that annoying mom that's my baby out there. I love you. I'm proud of you. You know, like where you're on the thing, and no matter what you do, you could fall in a pile of shit, and she'd be like, I love my baby boy. He's the best, right? There's
Yeah.
nothing you could do to like upset your mom when you're playing because she's just in love with the fact that that's her baby boy out there having fun.
Yeah.
Treat yourself like that, but be really empowering, encouraging. Never get down on yourself. All it does is wither you away, deteriorate your spirit and your physical ability to perform.
So what happens when those negative? Because like, I mean, I think to an essence, it is our human nature. Those negative
It was
thoughts come in
100%.
when something bad happens. Like, what do you do when those come?
Reprogram it. So great question.
Reprogram.
So what happens when you get a bad pass?
When I get a bad pass
When you receive a bad pass, what happens?
internally,
No, just what happens with your physical reaction. What do you do with that bad pass? Do you just call timeout? Hey, I got a bad pass here, guys. I'm just gonna, or do you roll with it and try to improve
yeah,
and then make
try to
something
fix
great out of it, right?
Yeah.
So you don't take a bad pass and be like, well, he passed bad to me, so I'm gonna pass bad to the next guy, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying when you get a negative thought. You are not your thoughts.
Yeah.
That negative thought is not you, man.
Yeah.
That is a hardware system in our brain with ego and the amygdala functioning as it naturally should function. It's a perfectly normal thing to happen. Is receiving a bad pass a perfectly normal thing to happen in soccer?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So one, we're not going to empower the negative thought. You're just going to see it as, oh, that's perfectly normal. Here it is, my ego getting down on me. And you kind of chuckle. Okay. So you just observe and you say, that's not me. That's the negative thought. And then you turn it around. Have you ever taken a bad pass and turned it into a goal?
Of course.
Boom.
Yeah.
So you took this bad thing and you turned it around and put it into a positive thing.
Yeah.
And then were you grateful for the bad pass?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as long as it ends up in a goal, it's great.
Do you see what we have here? There's a recipe of success.
Yeah.
See the bad pass, turn it around into something positive, and then celebrate that. Celebrate that you were able to turn it around and triumph. Okay. What this does is it's going to build your brain into a new way of functioning. It's not to say you're never going to get negative thoughts, but you're not going to be as kind of imprisoned by the negative thought. So you're taking your power back by knowing that's not my thought. This is my thought. And I'm going to have intention behind this thought. No, I'm not going to get down on myself. So live, it's called, like cognitive behavioral therapy or neuro-linguistic programming. But basically, we're taking that negative thought and we're transmuting it into a positive thought. It looks like this. You screw up a pass or you screw up a play and your thought goes, fuck, man, I screwed that shit up. Then you just catch it.
Catch it.
Observation. Yeah, observation. And then you drop it. You just clear and be like, I don't think that way anymore. Logan, you did the best you could with that play. I learned from it. I got this. I'm moving forward empowered. I'm better from it. I've learned more. I'm improving. You can have a self automated replacement thought in soccer of just being like, you got this. I believe in you. Yeah. And that's like the automatic kind of like puzzle piece that fits in to replace any negative thought that comes through. So you don't have to kind of be on the fly like, oh, what should I try? How do I twist this? You can just program yourself. When I get a bad pass, a negative thought come in, I'm going to twist it into, I don't think that way. I'm proud of you. I believe in you. You got this. I'm proud of you. I believe in you. You got this. You know what it feels like to say that all the time and then to believe it?
I guess because when you say it all the time, you start to believe it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How did you get good playing soccer?
Hard work.
Hard work what? Doing what?
Playing soccer. Just,
So how do you think you get good at thinking positive?
Yeah, you just keep doing it. You keep doing it over and over again.
Yeah, you just keep consistency. So it's dedication. But the thing is, we were never taught this stuff. You were taught how to play soccer. I'm teaching you how to play that mental soccer and be a champion of empowerment, positivity, optimism. And what will happen is you will have a better experience on the field. you will have a better performance on the field. You will become this unstoppable force.